On today's Saturday news, WWE think they have a chance to sign Kenny.
Who is Bray Wyatt's next match going to be against?
Tony Khan and Ariel Helwani get spicy.
And how much money does Vince McMahon want for WWE? Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? Yes, my name is Phil Chambers and I'm joined by Salty Sea Dog and I suppose Gareth Morgan also. But make sure you subscribe to the video, comment down below what you think of each of today's stories. Links to each story is in the description, to click the timestamps and off you go. But first up, what have we got?
Let's get
Gareth.
our hearts broken every single Saturday when I get carried away and do a salute and then you build Salty ahead of it. It's fine. I'm over it. I'll get over it because we've got some insane stories that we need to talk about today. And the first one is that WWE are apparently now lining up another swoop of an all-elite EVP heading into WrestleMania season because they're now apparently feeling that they have a chance to sign Kenny Omega. So, yeah, a year on from the Cody Rhodes stuff, Kenny Omega is now somebody that WWE feel they can realistically get their hands on. This is all according to a recent report from Fightful Select. They've said that they are obviously keeping a close eye on the cleaner's contract situation right now, because if you remember rightly, I think it was a couple of months back, it was reported that his deal was looking like it was going to come to an end early 2023, like end of January, February, that kind of time. And there's not been a lot of talk on it since. People were saying, they're probably just going to wait. Him and the Young Bucks probably going to wait out and see what they can do option-wise. It was probably going to be something of a package deal, them together. Obviously, like it would be, wouldn't it? It's the Elite. But there's been a big complication in this, in the fact that Kenny got injured for as long as what he did. I think it was like 9 months. And now AEW feel, well, I think they do in most of their contracts, their standard AEW contracts, they have the option to add that additional injury time onto the end of the deal to extend it. It's something that WWE do as well. And so, some sources, some all elite sources, have told Fightful Select that they've overheard Tony saying that that could be something that they could do with Kenny's deal. So there could be like an additional 9 months there that could be added on. But this isn't necessarily a slam dunk because Kenny has got some pretty good representation. So the time, if it is going to get added on, it could come with concessions for AEW. It might not actually get added on. We don't know what's going to happen there. So it's not just a guaranteed thing that could happen. And at this current moment in time, that time hasn't been added on. It's believed that it's not been added on to his deal right now. So it's not really sure what his situation is. Has his deal ended already? Is he just working like without a contract like Cody did before that? So there's a lot of things up in the air with that. But it's also worth noting on top of this that Kenny has maintained a pretty positive relationship with Triple H and WWE in general, really. Since they had those talks, I think it was in 2018, they've just stayed on really good terms. So Kenny is a very smart man, and he's probably thought, I'd best not burn that bridge. You never know what's going to happen. And now it could be something that he benefits from. And it's also said that despite the allegations that like AEW made against WWE of them like contract tampering and all these different things that were going on, I believe last year, like throughout last year, WWE sources again told Fightful Select that they don't believe that this was the case with Kenny. So it doesn't look like WWE were trying to reach out and just convince him to come over to WWE whilst he was still under AEW contract. So they've tried to note there that no, we didn't do that with him, but they're just keeping an eye from afar. They're kind of aware something's going on and they're probably just ready to pull the trigger. He just got Triple H sat there in his office, like with his phone number of Kenny Omega that Cody's obviously given him, just like, okay, let's just wait for the exact moment, and bang, he's going to pull that trigger, and the cleaner is going to be debuting on the Raw after WrestleMania and challenging Cody for both the belts. Right?
You never know. You
really
never
don't
know. Wrestling is insane these days. We thought, how is 2022? How is 2023 going to top 2022? And it already has, with Vince McMahon coming back and the sale of WWE and all of this stuff. But it's one of those things. Never say never. It's like, obviously, he's incredibly deeply ingrained in what AEW is. He's part of the E in AEW. But we thought the exact same thing about Cody, and that blew everything wide apart last year. And now, sort of with Vince gone and Triple H in charge and the potential of a sale, that probably makes it more likely than it ever has done before. And let's face it, Kenny has conquered every world in wrestling except for the one in WWE, and maybe that's just something that he wants in his career to like tick off at the end of the day, to like say, yeah, I did a main event of WrestleMania, or I won the WWE Championship, or whatever. Like, that's That's a hell of a tick to get, and also might be a hell of a paycheck as well coming his way. So there's a lot of things to consider with this, but it's absolutely fascinating as to what happens here. I don't think we've ever been closer to Kenny Omega coming to WWE, or the potential of Kenny Omega being in WWE, than we ever have before, like right now. Speaking of very excited to see where it all pans out, Bray Wyatt was on SmackDown last night announcing probably at least one of two people that he's going to be facing at WrestleMania. It's definitely not going to be Hit Row, because he beat the crap out of them. They came out and they were singing a rap about how Brett screwed Brett. And then the lights went off, and then the lights came back on again, and Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy were on the ring apron, and then they just attacked them and left them laying in a pile of their own bodies. I don't know who Hit Row annoyed backstage, but they really annoyed someone. But anyway, Bray Wyatt then got on the microphone, and he basically just said, "You're welcome, Montreal." And then he called out whoever the winner of Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar tonight on Elimination Chamber. He said, whoever wins, you should run, because he's coming after one of them. And this is not where I was expecting the Bray Wyatt thing to go, but here it is. Lashley put out a tweet just saying, once I put Brock to bed tomorrow, you get your wish, creep. So he's getting in on the action. And there's also been a Firefly Funhouse announced next week on SmackDown. So I guess Brock Lesnar in the Firefly Funhouse confirmed? Question mark.
Don't do that to
we
me,
were
Phil.
we were on WrestleCulture on the podcast, on WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast, where you get your podcast from. Like just yesterday, and me, Adam Nicholas, and Adam Wilborn were joking about the potential of Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. In a, like, this is never going to happen, but wouldn't that be funny kind of way. And here
so it's
we
your
are,
fault. It's your fault.
24 hours later.
Yeah. You willed it into existence. Literally. You horrifying humans. Why? I mean, yeah. I need to see it now.
Honestly.
I don't mind either scenario. I quite like Lashley in the Hurt Business, like joining forces to take on the Wyatt Six. Like that's a whole thing, and I wouldn't mind seeing Brock fight the demon raven, pigeon, whatever, buzzard, whatever it is. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. So sign me up. Let us go crazy with this, because we are in Hollywood. So let's go all cinematic and crazy dog. Oh wow, Salty's not a fan.
Salty's obviously a big fan of this.
Clearly. Derailed the whole video again, crazy animal. So, yeah, speaking of things just turned into chaos, and wow, we need to see where this is going. We got Tony Khan and Ariel Helwani and Salty clashing again, because they aren't big fans. And this all just bubbled up on Twitter last night, because Ariel Helwani has been all over WWE stuff recently. BT Sport, he's popped up backstage doing interviews. He's even voiced a few video packages as well. And I think he's just done the most recent one for Elimination Chamber. He's a big fan of WWE, big fan of wrestling, full stop. And he doesn't exactly see eye to eye with Ariel Helwani, because they had a bit of a infamous interview that happened last year, and Ariel was like, it was really frustrating, I couldn't get any answers out of Tony because he was playing his cards typically as he does, plays them very close to his chest, and he says the things he wants to say, and that's fine, that's what he wants to do, but they didn't really get on that well. And now, after Ariel popped up on SmackDown last night, and he was quoted as being a combat sports journalist, and he was in the middle of all the fans, and he was like, Montreal, it's his hometown, he's giddy, he's excited, and he was just billing it all up. Tony took to Twitter and said that he was a fraud. He said he was a fraud, and he's as legitimate of a reporter as Tony Schiavone. Wow, ouch, Tony. And on top of that then, Helwani just responded. He went onto the site and he thanked his old friend. And he said, thanks for watching. And he'd love to sit down for another chat at some point in the future, because he's a professional. He wants to get some eyes, some clicks. He knows what he's doing. And then he followed that up by saying, also, don't listen to the snowman Schiavone. You're a legend in my books. I'll let you read into that one as much as you like, audience. And after that, Khan then said, good luck with the unbiased journalism. So it's just, popcorn. Yeah. It's great stuff. It's great stuff, isn't it? I love it. Yeah.
For once, I'm actually on Tony Khan's side for this one. I think the initial interview, Ariel Helwani was asking him questions on things that he could not answer. Like,
Yeah.
there was legalities behind it, and he'd also just be the worst manager in the history of managers ever if he went and like blurted everything out on like on a wildly publicated like interview channel thing. Instead of actually talking to the people involved in like first. Like, he was asking stupid questions that he was never going to get an answer for, and then got frustrated when he didn't get an answer for it. It's like, what were you expecting, Ariel?
It was being very cheeky. I think the big thing that he like had a chip on his shoulder about with it, because I've like read over the quotes a few times, it's like, I think he said, yeah, I get it. You can't say certain things. I was poking a little bit. But I think he asked him, like, how do you feel? And he wouldn't even answer that. And it was a bit like, I kind of get it, and I don't. I'm on Tony's side with that. He couldn't go into detail going, oh, here's what happened, because, the entire company would set on fire again. Yeah. But just like a little, frustrated.
And also, at the same time, when you do take a contract with WWE and start doing things for them, your actual journalistic integrity does kind of go out the window slightly there. So.
Yeah. With wrestling, at least, yeah, definitely.
100%. But, yeah, I mean, and then there's probably no need for the pettiness on Twitter at the same time.
It's just, I love it. It's the handbags at the end. There's the snowman and everything. Oh, it's just like, I can't wait. Everyone's fired up. It's Elimination Chamber weekend. Everybody is fired up, and I'm here for it. I love it. It's great.
Love it. Big fan. But anyway, moving over, we've not had news about WWE's sale for quite a while. Vince McMahon came back just over a month ago to return to the board of directors and like start pushing for this sale. And Bloomberg have come out with a report saying that their sources have said that WWE is looking for $9 billion for the sale of WWE. They cited sources that were people familiar with his thinking, whatever that means. And they also said that the same sources revealed that they have had offers of a sale, but no word from who they've come from and how much those offers have been for so far. Like, originally, Nick Khan, in interviews, he said that this thing like could go by quite quickly. Like, he was looking at about like a 3-month timescale for like finalizing the sale. And then if they can't find the right sale, by that time, they will start looking at renegotiating all the TV rights deals and sort of move forward with that as a plan instead. So we should find out probably in a couple of months, I guess, as to whether the sale's going to go through, whether anyone manages to pony up $9 billion for WWE. Which is still a massive ask. It's still a hell of a lot of money. But like you say, they are getting offers through. Whether Vince would lower his expectations slightly, or whether they will find someone who will drop $9 billion on this is yet to be seen. But it is still moving forwards, the sale of WWE.
Yeah, it's a staggering amount of money. I mean, just to put it into context, you've got, I think, currently, just because for all the football, soccer nerds out there, like Manchester United, one of the biggest, if not the biggest football team in the world, they're currently looking to be bought for around 4 to 5 billion, I believe. And that's an absolute dynasty of a team and a franchise and everything else. Yeah. So WWE is a company nearly double that, which is eye-watering money. But yeah, if you look at right now, I mean, they are making money. They're doing as well as they've ever done, and it's a really interesting investment for any huge company, a Disney, a Comcast, whatever it is. Like, why wouldn't you put that money down and just reap the benefits from it at this current moment in time? So I'm just a bit like overwhelmed by that amount of money for anything. So it's that's a lot. We are dealing with a lot of money right now, so We'll have to wait and see who is crazy enough to put down that much money on a thing. £9 billion on a thing. That's just, blown my little mind.
And whatever happens, we will obviously keep you up to date with all of the sale of WWE things as we go along. But let's finish off with your Twitter questions. And I'm not going to lie, most of them were about Roman and Sami Zayn. Because let's face it,
I wonder why.
It's the hottest thing in wrestling. And they've got themselves the hottest main event they've had since Punk Cena at Chicago Money in the Bank, probably. 10 years?
Yeah.
Long time. So, first question comes from Joey Metalman, who says, I'll be attending the Chamber live, and he's pumped. So, have fun with that. Very, very jealous.
Yes.
That crowd is going to be insane. If WWE decides to go the triple threat route at Mania with Reigns, Cody, and Sami, how does Sami get in? P.S. Watch out for a special sign. Winky kiss emoji.
Oh, wow.
So, very interested to see what sign he's taking. But there's also a follow-on question from this, because lots of these questions were based around the same thing. So another question from Sean Finchhausen said, what about adding KO and making Mania a 4-way main event versus Cody, Sami, and Roman? Sami is too hot to not be in this main event in some form. So what do you reckon? Where do we go from here? Is it still going to be Cody versus Roman? Are they going to stick with their guns, or are they going to change plans because of how hot Sami Zayn is right now?
I don't know. I never thought I'd sit here and say it's bold to go with just Cody in the main event opposite Roman, but it kind of is feeling that way right now, isn't it? It's a hell of a call if you are just going to go down that route. Do you do the 2-night thing? Do you do the Sami against Roman the first night, win a belt, lose a belt, whatever it is, then go into Cody the second? Do you do, I think I heard the Dudleys say something about having the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens against the Usos main event one night at WrestleMania and then do another one because that puts them in the main event as well. I don't know. I mean, the great problems to have. I can't remember the last time we sat here going, oh, they could potentially have 4 genuine main event acts here, and it's just now deciding what little formula and whatever to do on the actual night. So I don't know. I'm happy with all of them. I don't want to just sit on the fence. I mean, if it's for me, the romantic, in a way, kind of wants Sami and Roman because I don't know. It's just I'm there. I'm in the moment with it right now. But then equally, Cody Roman is. Oh, I don't know, Phil. It's just hard, isn't it? It's too hard.
It's insane that we've got this far through this story, and there's still so many options leading into WrestleMania, and so many of them are so good. But every step of the way with this storyline so far, they've had all these options, but they've just sprinkled this extra little thing in that nobody's really thought about, like the Jey Uso turn at the Royal Rumble and things, and it's like. Oh, this is all really, really good stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want the 4-way with KO. I think he feels a bit shoehorned into it, but then I feel really bad for Kevin Owens because he also deserves a really great place at Mania. And obviously, if the original plan was Sami and Kevin Owens going up against the Usos, then you've got to the Usos have been a huge part of this storyline as well. You've got to make sure they have something good at WrestleMania. But I still want Sami in that main event somehow. Personally, I'd go Cody versus Roman on the first night, and then split the belts that way. So you'd have Cody win the WWE title on the first night, and Sami win the Universal title against a sort of semi already broken, incredibly annoyed Roman Reigns. So he kind of loses everything all in one weekend. Whatever happens, I'm so very excited for tonight. So join us on our live stream. Me and Michael Hamflett will be watching the entire Elimination Chamber tonight live on YouTube. So come join us for that. It's gonna be emotional.
Yeah, never been more excited to get my heart broken.
Yeah.
I
But speaking with splitting the belts and things, I've also got a bunch of questions about that. So we've got one from Tim Kennard who says, with rumours earlier that they wanted to split the belts before Mania, could we see a situation where Sami wins in a sort of dusty finish? There you go. But the ref doesn't catch it, and it isn't resolved until Raw, which eventually ends in them splitting the belts.
Oh, I like that. Because it keeps you hooked, doesn't it? We talked then for an entire 2-day period about, is this real? Are they going to keep it? And yeah, I mean, if you want to get people to watch Raw, that's yeah, I'm up for that. That's now my favourite. That's now what I'm going with, Phil. I'm taking that theory. Thank you very much.
I do like that. Another theory we came up with on WrestleCulture, on WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. The plugs all day was that the referee goes down or something, and then Jey Uso gets involved and then attacks Roman or something, and then Sami ends up pinning Roman, wins the belt, but then the referee sees the replay on the big screen and sees that Jey Uso got involved, and then Jey Uso accidentally gets Sami Zayn disqualified.
You can't pick and choose when the camera's in play, Phil.
I know,
right?
This is true,
you
but
cannot pick and choose.
You can do this, and it's all so good. The final question comes from Kyle Stevens, who says, "How much longer do you think Roman could realistically hold the titles for before people completely sour on the booking?" It's already been already been over 900 days.
Let's hit 1,000. No, let's not hit 1,000. I mean, what will he be at WrestleMania? That you can't be far off. It'll be about 930, 50 maybe. Yeah. I think Mania is the time, isn't it? It's not. You're never going to get as many potential winners who will just satisfy everyone. You've got 2, potentially 3, if you want to throw Kevin Owens in there. I don't know. I won't be that heartbroken, but I think now is the time. I think Roman would probably say it's the time as well. Like, you just don't want to soil the legacy. I think if it goes on too far, then it is a case of, oh, right, here we go again. Let's go for another year. And it's
absolutely.
Just get out while you're hot. 2 years in, 900 days, whatever it is. 2, 3. Oh my God, my math is all over. But it's nearly 3 years, isn't it? Like, it's
mad.
madness.
I think, like you say, WrestleMania is the time. If it goes much further than that, I think they'll have missed something if they take it further than WrestleMania. Sophie agrees. So yeah, you'll have missed something if it goes longer than WrestleMania, and you've got 2 challenges, both of which, like Sammy or Cody, either one could take the belt legitimately, and it'd be great going forwards. And it's just time. But I will say, it's a testament to how good he's been in this run that it's got to 900 days, and it's still like, I'm kind of gonna miss that when it's gone. Like him being at the top of all of these cards, and the incredibly just such a great champion that we've not seen the likes of in a really, really long time. Yeah,
and the question now, again, is probably something that not a lot of people oddly have been asking. What do you do with Roman after that?
I reckon
what is he just?
Time off, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe?
Special attraction every now and again. Like it's. Yeah, I think that's compelling in itself. Like, does he go after the belt straight away? Like, we'll see what happens with that.
We'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much for joining us. If you want, you can follow us over on Twitter. You can follow me at @PhilMyChambers, and you can follow Gareth at
GMorgan04.
And you can follow all of us at WhatCulture WWE. Like I say, we've got the Elimination Chamber live stream coming up tonight, so make sure you come and watch some wrestling with us. Ups and Downs for Rampage and SmackDown is on its way as well. But most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.